Hi everyone. So here we are live for our pretty exciting conversation today. If you watch my stories, you already know that today I'm going to talk about how to navigate the Ascension journey in 2023 with a special guest. I'm very excited already to bring her on. And yeah, this is a conversation that is obviously very, very dear to my heart, and there's a lot to uncover. So this is going to be part one. There is for sure going to be a second part, maybe even part 3 or 4, where let's see where this conversation is going. And I see that Aurora is already here, so I'm excited to bring her on. And then I guess we're just going to dive right. Okay. Wonderful.
Hi.
Here we are. How are you doing?
All right. I can't find my filter. It's okay. I'm gonna go with anything about.
Who do you want to be today?
I want to be Leo. I want to be, but I can't find my filter, so it's fine. I will go with that design.
This one. Beautiful. So excited for our conversation today, like for our first conversation, right? So how was your day so far? It's in the evening where you are, right?
Yes. A lot of grounding, a lot of purging, a lot of connecting with my spirit guides, and to be honest, they are so silly. Like they've been sharing with me, like reminding me so much of the topic of today, and they really want to share all the fundamental tips for today's topic. So, yeah, that is what happening to me for the past few days. How was your day? And yeah.
Yeah. For me, it was pretty busy so far, but I'm really excited to talk about all we that we have to share. And if your spirits guides were already like busy, then I guess
Yeah.
we're diving in right away, right? Because so for everyone who's joining us now, welcome, welcome. So happy you're all here for this conversation. And also if you're watching this on the replay, always feel free to drop something in the comments if you have any questions. Also, yeah, as I said in the replay, and probably we're going to answer them in the next live we're doing then. And yeah, we're just always happy to connect with you because as this is the time for us to actually come into co-creation and collaboration. And this is what I so love about the two of us, actually because just before hopping live, I was thinking, right, this is so beautiful because we both are evolutionary astrologer, right? And we are offering readings. We're kind of like, in a way, you could say we're doing the same thing, yet we're doing it so unique in our own way. And that's what I love, right? Because the age of Aquarius, this is about collaboration and co-creation and not any longer about competition, right? So we two coming together and you saying like, hey, let's do this. I'm really, really grateful for that. I really appreciate that. And I think that's the way forward, right? How we are co-weaving this ascension path, this ascension journey. And so, yeah, for everyone's watching, these conversations are going to be about how we've been thinking about a title, right? But actually, like how to navigate the ascension journey in 2023 felt very, very, yeah,
Intense.
intentional and very tense. Yeah. And so we have a lot to share. And I think we're just blending our wisdom, right, from our journey, from our path, the wisdom that we receive from our guides, and also what we're seeing in the collective field and what we are observing with our clients, right? So maybe I can just share something, one experience I had lately, and then we're going to just blend it all together and you can
Also,
share
I want to
from.
chip in a little bit. Whatever we have we are going to share here is very universal. It doesn't restrict us to just understand at a spiritual level. It is very universal to a point it applies to our own family life, who doesn't even aware about spirituality, doesn't even aware about astrology. But this is such a universal teaching, and it's basically a very ancient wisdom sharing that we are going to co-create together and share in this space. Yeah, that's what I want to chip in.
Yeah, beautiful. I think this is very important to mention, like for everyone who is, whether you are, whether you do have a knowledge about astrology already, whether you're completely new to astrology, whether you have been on your ascension awakening path for a while, or you're just like taking your first steps, like this is a conversation really for each and every one of us, right? Because at the end of the day, we are the collective and we are in this together. And I think this is also something that is very important, and we're probably going to dive deeper into this because there is a lot happening in the spiritual space right now, right? I mean, for me, it's crazy to say we've been connecting before the live, we've been sharing a little bit about our journeys, right? And so I told you that my mom has been an astrologer for 30 plus years, doing tarot readings and so on. So I kind of like grew up with that kind of understanding that there is something else, right? But I feel like over especially like the last 3 to 5 years, there has been a big boom in the spiritual space. Yeah, explosion. Exactly. That's a perfect word. It started with the yoga movement, self-development movement, and so on. And now even like when it comes to, I don't know, whatever, astrology, channeling, the Akashic record, psychic. Yeah. It's like, at least, if you are in the space, you might have the feeling that it's like everywhere and it's a lot, right? So that's where we both said, okay, let's see, where are we now, right? I mean, we're still at the beginning of April, but we're already like 3 months into 2023, and it feels like
it's like a portal. It's like we are traveling in time and space so fast.
And non-stop. Like, okay, can I just have a human moment? You know, can I just like?
Can it be much easier, universe, please?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So we felt called to share about the important steps in this year 2023, also from a bigger astrological perspective, what is happening and how to best find your way to navigate, right? And so maybe you want to share a little bit from your experience also with your clients, like what you experience in the space right now in terms of like that there's this overload of information, and that what I get a lot as well is that people like have really difficulty to trust their own intuition, which is needed to actually move forward, right? I feel like also individually for sure, but collectively, I like that we framed that 2023 is a year of transition, right? But well, we have to transition, and I feel like right now we're like many people are a little bit stuck. They are in the in-between. So like, how do you observe this? Maybe you want to share a little bit.
So basically, 2023 to 2025 is the year of transitioning. It's basically everything that doesn't resonate to the organic soul level will be crumbled. Anything the matrix system is offering us in the most inorganic way of living will be crumbled. This also applies to our own personal life, individual life. Anything that doesn't in alignment to your soul mission, your soul purpose, it will crumble. It's the most intense tower moment you could ever experience. This is especially happening very rapidly in this year, 2023. And therefore, therefore, because everyone is feeling the intensity, whether you are on your spiritual path or you are not, you are feeling it intensely. So therefore, people start to look outside of themselves, start to distract themselves, because all the yucky feeling we are feeling right now, the discomfort, it's like we don't know how to deal with it. It's too much. Some people feel like it's so intense to a point it triggers their ego, and they respond from the ego space, from their wounded self, from their wounded inner child. And I really have a lot of compassion with those people, because they really do not know how. They really do not know how to digest so much darkness that just, purging out from their system. And also, it's almost like feeling like everyone is living in their life crisis right now. Mm-hmm. So if they really do not take the time to slow down, they would just be crashing all the time. Would you observe this in your environment with people? Did you see them like crash, like really overwhelmed? Like the words overwhelmed is very strong.
Yeah. Completely. I do observe that as well. And I think the interesting, what I came to like to experience and see for myself as well, is that actually, like over the last 3 years, right, a lot has been happening. And especially also at the beginning of the pandemic, like we've been talking, or many have been talking about like, okay, this is the tower moment and everything, right? But I feel like actually the tower moment is happening now with the crumbling that you explained, right? This is like the last 3 years. Yeah, of course, big dark night of the soul collectively and for many people. But like now it's really when you see that actually everything, as you so beautifully said, right, is inorganic, will be falling away, right? So everything we're now, maybe if you're watching and this resonates with you and you've been thinking, okay, now we are back to normal, I just continue as before, you're stuck. Your kids are warm, right? And
normal
I feel like this is yeah.
If we really can look back to the COVID season, is there anything normal? Like, yeah, you guys can give a heart. If you feel like now we are living a normal life, well, it's time for a life check. It's a loving life check.
Exactly.
There is no normal anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, I think that's also what is so frightening for many people, right?
Absolutely.
Actually, to realize that the life we've been living before, also like individually, if you yourself look back at the life you've been living before and actually have to realize that maybe nothing or like a small percentage of that has been normal. Like, fuck yeah, it's truth, right? You have to swallow that. You have to like shit, in a way it's a shit show. The world is a shit show. Maybe your life is a shit show right now. Yeah. And to be okay with that, it's not easy. Like, seriously, it's not easy.
Absolutely. Right.
So to look yourself in the mirror and say like, well, what have we been doing, right? And I feel like it's like, we're in this moment right now, like, shit, really. Sorry to say so, but not sorry, because it is what it is, right? And yeah, so maybe we want to quickly take everyone who's watching right now, watching this on the replay, into the perspective, also what's happening astrologically wise, or what has been happening already in March in terms of like Pluto moving into Aquarius, Saturn into Pisces. I think this has been a major initiation for what is now coming also with eclipse season, right? So I just want everyone to know that this is a major portal right now, a major energy portal also, that we can really use if we have the awareness, right?
Yes. So for anyone who is watching replay, we will be downloading this replay and upload to my YouTube channel at Inner Doorway. So because recently Instagram removed the timestamp and if you are wanting to rewatch the 40 minutes replay, it's like, I would recommend you to go to the YouTube to watch it. So you have all the time in the world to digest everything. So coming back to the astrological transit was happening for us. Basically, I want to take it slowly for this one. When the moment when Saturn, which is basically the divine father energy, Saturn enter into Pisces, it's like a moment of, for me, the way I explain it is like divine order. We need to be in divine order. We need to do things based on what serves the soul, what serves your soul level evolution. It's like universe is here to help you check in. Do you do things that is based on your soul contract in this lifetime? Do you align yourself, your human self, to what you've been signed up for in this incarnation? So for me, the way I've been experienced the Saturn Pisces in my own personal life is that it really entered into my ninth house. The ninth house, which is the house of philosophical teaching, the house of highest education, also like astrology, and also a lot of the energy of being a teacher for me, for my case, being a thought leader. And because it's like having a conversation with Neptune, 0 degrees, and Neptune is so dear to my heart as a stellium Pisces. So it's always been like divine order. Like whatever I'm experiencing in my personal life is also where I'm experiencing the collective energy. And so what does even Saturn Pisces can reflect in your life, in our own personal life, is that what I have just mentioned. Is it that you are doing things based on what is in alignment to who you are at the soul level, not just the mind, you know? Like sometimes we think that, oh, we want this, we want A and B, we want to do it from a mental space. But sometimes we need to align our mind and also our heart together. Like in 2023 onwards, basically from April onwards, is that we need to let the heart be the instrument, like be the okay, I want to use a very metaphorical example for explaining this. Is like the heart is like the motherboard. It's like the motherboard of your computer system. It's like the motherboard, the chip, the USB chip, like the most important core system. And without tuning into the core, it's like you are just operating in the chaotic way. Like even like virus come into your system, computer system, you are still like running the virus program. And so what was happening to many of us who is unaware, we are like consuming so much external energy, or we can say like distraction, like the virus, like some energy that's not our frequency, not our core value, not our core belief system. It's like we are fitting ourselves with things that is not in alignment to the core of who we are, not in alignment to our heart. So what we can do at here is truly like allow ourselves to have that silent moment to tune out from the external world, and now tune into your heart. It's so simple. This is such a small ritual that we can do every single day. So tuning back to our heart, to listen to our heart, what our heart wants. And then start to use the heart, the soul, the feeling, the feminine way of like operating. Because when you operate that way, you are going according to the rhythm of life. You are not fighting with life. You are not running against the current. We often say that follow the path of least resistance. So what does that even mean? Follow the path of least resistance. The meaning of it is follow what your souls are calling you more into. Maybe today my soul is calling me more into nature. My soul is calling me more into running a project, organize a project. My soul is calling more like connecting with Anna and talk to her. Like a lot of things is going on. But when we tune into our heart, tune our soul is such an intelligent software system that really can organize every single thing to the T. I do not know if Anna, you ever experienced this. Like the intelligence of the heart is everything. Everything.
Yeah.
If you live by from your heart, it's like you can achieve more than just use your. What would you say? Have you experienced that?
I really, really love that, to also like to bring it back to the heart consciousness, because that is eventually also what is leading us forward, right? And I mean, there have been many studies already of the electromagnetic field of the heart, and that actually the heart is sending more signals to the brain than the other way around, and so on. So I mean, if this is interesting to you, then really just do your own research also. I mean, this is just, I mean, it's however you want to say, even if you know it already, but it's also proven out there, actually, that heart consciousness. Exactly. But I just wanted to come back around, and I think you gave a very, very nice picture also, in a way, of the importance of with what are you feeding your soul, right? And lately I also posted something about like you can feed you feed yourself, but still inside your soul is starving in a way, because you take a lot in, but if it's not what is, as you said, in real alignment with your soul path, you're still starving, right? So you have that overload of information coming into your field, but at the end of the day, you still don't have this feeling of like satisfaction and like, okay, this is it, right? So you feel like you always need more and more. But it's not actually what is needed, as you said. It's a moment of pause, a moment of stillness, and then actually to discern, like, what is it really that I need? And I think Saturn and Pisces is going to help us, because I always like to say that Saturn is like the master teacher, right? He's a little bit like sometimes like
father.
The divine father, but master teacher is more like, okay, you're gonna sit down, you're gonna learn your lesson, you know, like this. And sometimes I feel, the divine father energy is like that, but for purpose, right? It's not to like blame us or punish us or whatever, but because the divine father really wants us to sit down and to discern what is really meant for us and what is not. And coming back to the fact that at the moment we have this overload also in the spiritual space of like what you can do, right? Like, I mean, it all started with like having a morning routine or having a morning ritual, right? And now you have to do breath work, you have to do, I don't know, the cold bath and so on, all the things. But I feel like because we have this overload, and also because energetically speaking, we are at a level where exhaustion, right, can be really, really high. So it's so important to discern for yourself, even if everyone else is doing the breathwork session or the channeling or whatever, what is it that is really, as you said, like feeding my soul, right? And so this is like, for me, Saturn and Pisces. Pisces is this energy, this very spiritual energy, very out there, galactic energy also. And Saturn is, and sometimes I always say, like, you know, there's a light and the shadow side to everything. So more like the shadow side maybe of the Piscean energy would be to just be dreamy, you know, and go somewhere else and like not being really present. And so I feel like Saturn now is helping us within our own spiritual practice to really like maybe sit down and see again, okay, what is it actually that I need? So what kind of routine? Because Saturn for me is a lot about structure also, right? And I'm doing this for myself as well. Just 2 days ago, I was like, okay, what do I really need, you know, also in the morning, and what kind of routines, and I'm slowly starting them. And as we all know, if we're doing them for like a couple of weeks or like 30 days, something like that, it becomes a new habit, it becomes a new routine. And so I feel like this is what this energy is going to invite us into, especially like for the next 2.5 years, when we talk about Saturn and Pisces. And of course there's much more to say about this also on the collective level, but for you guys, we just want to try to break it down for this conversation, in terms of when you feel like you have this overload right now and you feel like you're stuck and you don't really know what the next step is, right? It's actually zooming out of the feeling that you have to do everything, right? And actually zooming in on what is really your soul's calling right now. And exactly, this is when it comes back to the heart, right? Because from the head space, it's going to be difficult, right? We are moving out, just to put it like that. We are moving out of the age of information. We have been in the age of information, like with all the internet and all of this. It's been a lot. It's been a lot, right? And actually now we are called to move into the age of feeling and experience and everything, but it's not easy, right? We're so conditioned to go head first. So this is, I think, a beautiful invitation to say, like, okay, let's drop back into the heart. And again, there are different practices to do this. And I know, especially at the beginning, for people, this might sound like, well, how should I drop into my heart? You know, like,
it's easy,
but yeah, maybe
right? Very easy.
exactly. Yeah. Okay. So I guess we covered the Saturn and Pisces, and let's just see also that we're not going too far too long today. I guess the next like parts of this conversation we're going to cover next week. But maybe you can share a little bit, as we've been talking about Saturn and Pisces, and the other big and for me really, really huge transit is like Pluto in Aquarius. It's happening in my first house, so I'm kind of like excited and at the same time like not exhausted already, but I know that this energy is going to be really intense, but really, really important for me. So maybe you want to share a little bit from your perspective and what you're observing, like Pluto and Aquarius, like what's gonna happen? How should we prepare for this biggie?
I just realized I give away some mistake information just now as I reflect on, like, okay, the Saturn and the Pluto. I was confusing with both energy because both energy feel the same with me. So I have so I'm a Stellium Pisces. I have a 3 degrees of Sun, Jupiter, and Mercury, and Saturn is sitting on top of my Sun, Mercury, and Jupiter. That is what happened. So I want to make conscious about that. For me, I do feel the divine order, like, let's get back in order. And so Pluto Aquarius was actually happening to me at the ninth house. And for me, the way I experienced Pluto Aquarius, having a conversation with my Neptune Aquarius, is that it's still communicating with my soul, because Neptune itself is the energy of the soul. You can see, like, why I was like confusing, like everything. So Pluto Aquarius, the way I see it, it's like, so I would break down from individual level and also the collective level. So at the individual, Pluto in Aquarius can be like, it's like, I think we will start with the collective. We will much more easier to go into the individual level. So the collective energy of Pluto Aquarius is that there is, like, because last year during New Year's Eve, there's a group of soul family which I'm connected with. Like it's basically a couple. They do a lot of grid work, portal work, and they've been doing. I also participate in it, and we anchoring in the template of the 5D community template. It's like a blueprint. It's like we have a handshake with the higher realm, and we design the template, the blueprint of how to build a 5D community. Just this year, New Year's Eve, we just descending all the blueprint and anchor into the grid line of Mother Earth. So imagine that you have 7 chakra. So Mother Earth, the consciousness of the Earth, also have this 7 chakra system. So in a recent New Year's Eve, we just descending the blueprint of how to build a community. So now everyone is feeling that sense of like, I want to connect with people more. Like I want to connect with people, not just regular people, not just stranger. We want to connect with people who is like feeding our soul, who is in resonance with our soul. And therefore, like it's so magical how we even meet each other. It's like it's like in divine timing, we are meant to meet each other. Like I'm meant to meet Anna at this time. It's not like yes, last year we cannot meet each other. It's not that way. It's just like Pluto in Aquarius is almost like now we are ready to go into the era of building community, bring the future vision or the Pisces energy, the Aquarius energy, all the ideas from the cosmos and descending down to our physical body, and also start sharing information and think about ways we can making it into reality, not just having conversation and we just like letting it go. We need to find ways, finding people that have a skill set that is honing on to their own sense of genius, because Aquarius is all about individuality. So we can see at the individual level now is that, for example, I'm very genius in helping others to integrate and embody their higher self. This is my sense of genius. Whereas for you, it's all about astrography and helping others to step into the unknown world. And so we can co-create based on our own gift, our own sense of genius. And the more we find and meet different people, they have different skill set. It's almost like we are puzzle piece everything together, become like a hive mind. Like it's like a bee hive mind where we serve from a unity consciousness. We serve from a space where everything is ecosystem, everything is round table. There's no more hierarchy going on anymore. It's more coexisting together in a round table. Therefore, like recently, I've been feeling the Avalon energy coming through very strongly, Merlin coming through very strongly, because in the Merlin era, they try before, like they want to have a round table kind of co-creation with the village, with every single person, but it crumbled, it fall because of the dark age come through and it's crumbled everything. But I want to assure everyone is that now, as the Queen Elizabeth has said, there's no more to fear about dark entities. There's not to say not to fear dark entities. There's nothing to fear about the dark elite anymore. Nothing to fear about. We are now entering into a new age. We are all ready to be in the light. It's all the past comparison or the, what is it called? Any like news from the past 2 years, we can forget about it. Totally forget about it. Because now it's like, it's a new age. So yeah. Anything you want to chip in? Anything inspire you?
Beautiful. I think, Pluto and Aquarius, it's a long cycle, right? So there's it has many
20 years.
layers. Yeah.
20 years.
20 years. And I mean, it's going, back and forth like this year. But then like Pluto is going to be in Aquarius for a long period. And for me, this is really, another huge stepping stone of us as humanity moving into the Aquarian age, right? And as you shared at the beginning, now is the time of like crumbling, right? The tower moment. So if we talk about what you've been so beautifully mentioning, that this is about co-creation, this is about coming together and weaving a web, right? Or like a beehive. And it's more like it's not top down, right? It's bottom up in a way. And it's like inclusive of everyone. And we're still seeing so many structures and systems out there in the world where this is not happening right now. And the way it has been built, it is not possible, right? So I feel like the energy of Pluto in Aquarius is also bringing, Pluto for me really symbolizes death and rebirth, right? It's like pure transformation. It's like going deep, digging in the dirt, bringing it up to the surface and bringing it into, alchemizing it into the light. And so I feel like this is a lot what we're going to see within society, within groups of people. And I feel like you know, the last time this has been happening, there have been a lot of revolutions happening, right? And I feel like this is going to happen this time as well, all over the world. And there are places right now already where we see that this is happening, right? So it's like the people are not going to take that shit anymore, right? Top down shit. It's like no more. Like, don't, you've been doing, it's like, you know, it's coming to this realization as we also coming full circle to the beginning of our conversation. It's like people are realizing now that the life we've been living has not been normal, right? And there might be people, and for them right now it's maybe still too hard to swallow that truth, to take that truth pill in a way. So they're gonna suppress it and like just keep going as usual. But there's a huge wave of people that are really waking up to that fact right now. And they are not going to take it anymore. They're going to say, if the government says like, so, they're saying like, no, not with us. We're going on the streets, whatever we're doing, but we're resisting. We're not complying anymore to that. And so,
However,
I mean, obviously, you feel already, I love that energy, right? That rebellion, revolutionary energy. It's like, yeah, let's go. So, yeah, I think these are very, very exciting times. And what my intention also is to give people an understanding of what is possible and what is coming, right? Because I know that it can be really, really fearful when we're just talking about the crumble, right? When we're just talking about the death, right? I mean, okay, but this is where the work of like, how do you navigate the unknown between the death and the rebirth, right? But if you don't know, of course we can't tell exactly what is on the other side, but we can paint a picture, and from the energies we can tell what is coming. And I think that helps people to see like, okay, let's get ready to die, right? Let's get ready for that death portal, because we know there's something much more beautiful on the other side. So, and this is where our individual genius comes in, right? If you know that you carry that very unique genius within you, and that is a puzzle piece to the greater collective, then there's no way that we can, you know, fail with this. This is like the collective blueprint that we all kind of like agree to by incarnating into this lifetime here on planet Earth. So I guess Pluto and Aquarius is going to bring a lot of intense stuff, but whoever is ready for like the rebirth, like it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful.
And you know, like, it's all about authenticity. Aquarius is very authentic. And they are like this visionary person, and they have a vision in that they see things and they perceive things like out of this world, really out of this world. But I want to mention very crucial thing is that many people, I mean, we have so much layers of consciousness of people in this world. Many people think that to change this world, they need to go outside and have rebellious against the government. They mistaken it so deeply. So I always have this philosophy in all of my teaching since 2 years ago and across all time and space, that I always say it to my client and also my audience, is that be the change you want to see in this world. You are not here to change the world, but you are here to be the change. So it's all about starting from yourself first. You have to be the change. That's where I as well started my journey of awakening, to really realize that I have to take ownership of my own pain. I have to take ownership of my own trauma. I have to take ownership of every single thing that's not in alignment to my soul. And this can be a very it took time. It really took time for us to walk that path of awakening, to walk that path of like doing things that is finally in alignment to who we are as an individual level. So this can be as simple as like, what are you excited the most to co-create with in life? What are you most excited to share with the world? Like, what is your personal hobby, that what is your personal passion? And as a society as a whole, we've been like neglecting like oh, your passion doesn't fit your cost of living, all of that, like. However, we it's like we kill the creativity and the passion and the artistry of life. We kill it so deeply, and we just want to focus on a logical life, and it's not going to happen anymore. This Pluto Aquarius, we want everything. We want everything. We want the arts. We want creativity. We want the science. We want both logical and also like the masculine energy. We also want the feminine energy of being flow, being nature, be grounded, or like the feeling based, the intuition based. Like the heart and the mind, like the mind is logical, but the heart is the feminine. We need to combine both within us to really operate at that level. So I find it very fascinating. Like for the next 20 years, we are going to learn this art of balancing out our own feminine side and also our masculine side. And also the idea of like, how can we do it in the most gracious way? How can we do it in the most like routine based, like day-to-day kind of digesting life? And with all the cosmic energy in the air, the Pisces energy, we can utilize the energy, the archetypal of Virgo, to even ground us back to Earth. So I have a North Node in Virgo and a Stadium Pisces. Virgo really taught me the art of like being in present with who I am. So Virgo, the archetypal of Virgo is the spider. I always see Virgo as the master spider, where you can pull in information from the past, present, and the future all interwoven together and make it as a masterpiece and just share it in the now moment. So as a Stadium Pisces person, Virgo really taught me that the present moment is so sacred. There's nothing else is more important than the present moment. If right now we feel sad, we feel like we need to go into the healing hermit, we need to allow ourselves to carve out some time in our routine, in our day-to-day life, to like digest everything. If we neglect that, we ignore whatever is here present for us, we will still carry on the past baggage, all the heavy burden we are still carrying on at our shoulder from the past during COVID time and more, from the past coming down to this present moment, and we will continue on carry forward if we really do not take the time now to really digest everything. So therefore, everyone is feeling overwhelmed because they haven't do the work. To be honest, they haven't listened to their heart. They haven't listened to what is going on here internally, and just tune out. Like tune out. There's nothing wrong. Like you're not missing out. To be honest, we are not missing out anything. What you've been missing is what is here. What is here for you internally is enough. It's the most sacred answer that you could ever receive. So I will throw back the ball for you. And how did you feel about that?
Beautiful, yeah. It resonates a lot, because for me, what I'm really passionate about is about the part of sovereignty and the part of self-responsibility, right? And so I guess this the beautiful way to like close this conversation for today and dive deeper into it next week, because what we also wanted to talk about, right, is like that right now we're still in Aries season, right? We're actually still kicking off a new astrological cycle. And the Aries energy is this very, very bold energy. And on the one hand side, it is that energy that says like, okay, I'm going forward, right? I'm doing this. At the same time, as we mentioned, many people right now feel actually stuck and feel they can't really use this energy to go forward and do the bold things, because what comes with it is this radical self-responsibility. If we're talking about freedom, right, and Aquarius is also that sense of freedom to do whatever you want, to do what has not been done before. But freedom is actually, for me, the highest level of self-responsibility. If you don't know how to be sovereign within yourself, take full responsibility for your own life, like it's really getting to be hard to reach that level of freedom that you're actually seeking. And I think this is where many people are a little bit mistaken, also in like the spiritual space.
I want to hear.
I'm very excited about this, but I feel like this is going to be a bigger conversation, so I would like to dive deeper into not to make this too big, but I actually just wanted to say this is something we can continue next week in our life. How now to take these energies of Saturn and Pisces and Pluto and Aquarius during still Aries season and then also eclipse season, like what are for us the key pillars where you are invited to really focus on in order to take these bold steps, right? You already mentioned like the flow of the yin and the yang, right? Stepping out of the head into the heart to get out of that overload. And self-responsibility is obviously another key. Discernment is another key. And so, I'd love to take this conversation further with you in the next live and, paint another picture for all the people watching. What are the kind of like some of the key ingredients if you want to step out of your old self into your new self, right? As we're talking about being in this transition and being stuck in the in-between and what it really takes in this year 2023 to navigate this ascension journey. Is there anything else you wanna share right now to close up the conversation?
Well, let me change to my higher self. Give me
I'll give you
10 seconds. I think what people have been missing at the moment is they want to find a sense of certainty within themselves.
Yeah.
And we from the higher realm, the divine, the angelic realm, we want to chip in and give you the assurance, the little assurance from the divine to help you to know that whatever you've been feeling at the moment, it's all planted out in the most masterful way. This is a masterful masterpiece kind of universe. We do not do things and orchestrate things in any mistake. Everything was happened for you for a reason. And understand that it's through surrender that we could allow the universe, the spirit, or our soul to guide us into a new world where we truly can embrace who we truly are, where we truly can embrace our own individuality, where we can truly find our tribe, the right people that really love us. Because all we ever want at the soul level is the love and connection and certainty. And yeah, that is just a very simple message for the audience. And we as a higher guides, 5D and above, we have so much reverence for the soul who is incarnate at this moment in time, who facing the abyss of their own darkness and ride the passage of life and going through many layers of dark night of the soul, many layers of transformation. We really witness your effort. We really witness your tenacity, your will to persist in life. We just want to say that always honor your own journey of ascension, always honor your own spiritual path, and everything happening for a reason. You are exactly where you need to be. And stay curious for our next IG Live. We will share more of supportive energy with you guys. So as you tune into our IG Live, you are not just listening to whatever conversation we have to say. You are also tuning into our own aura, to our own sacred space where we are broadcasting healing, broadcasting activation, and help you to really ground back to who you are. It's a beautiful co-creation we are having with Anna and her guides, everything. So we are very excited to co-create more juicy stuff for you guys, for the people that we love, for the awakened soul who is yet to meet us in divine timing. And therefore, we leave you with that and coming back to you, Anna.
Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that sharing. I think it's a beautiful full circle for now for this conversation, right? And so we said we're going to do the next part on Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, we're letting you know we're going to share in the stories, and we're also going to post a replay on both of our accounts. So whenever you're watching this on a replay, you have some thoughts about it, you have something you want to share, you have some questions, then always feel free to still put them in the comments, and we're going to answer them in the next live that we're doing. And yeah, I think today was a beautiful first glimpse into like the Ascension journey of 2023. All of the energetics, what's happening astrologically speaking. And next time I feel we're really diving deep into like, what does it mean for us personally, and how can we take that self-responsibility. And also what came through for me during your channeling was the way of having your own back in this, right? To surrender to that, knowing that, first of all, how to connect with that knowing. And once you have that knowing that you have your own back, you are in a way always at the exact right time, at the exact right place, so to speak, right? Because you know that, yeah, you have your own back in this.
I mean, it's all about the areas of instinct. So yeah,
not thinking too long, but trusting your instincts and your impulses in a healthy way. I want to say, don't all just go. Yeah, I'm a moon Aries, so I have to say it.
You are the perfect person to speak about it.
Yeah, because sometimes me myself, I can be a little bit too impulsive. So yeah, do it just in a healthy way, right? And then everything's going to be fine. Okay, this was so much fun. thank you for everyone who joined us live here. And yeah, can't wait to hop on and take this conversation further with you next Monday. Thank you so much and see you soon.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me here. And yeah, I love how you lead the space. And see you guys soon. Take care. Chat
See you.
soon.